So hello friends, welcome back once again in the new lecture of React Native. And in today's lecture, we will discuss that how we can setting the development environment with Homebrew for Android. So in my previous lectures, I have already discussed that how we can setting the development environment for Android without Homebrew. But in this lecture, we will create the development environment with Homebrew. So in this lecture, we will cover multiple parts. So first we will install the Homebrew, and second we will install Node and Watchman using Homebrew, and in third we will install the JDK using Homebrew and set the JDK path in source, and next we will download the Android Studio and set the Android SDK path, and finally we run the Android application. So let's begin and complete every step. So here first we will open Google Chrome and type here React Native. So the React Native official document will be opened and we click on the development environment. So the React Native development environment page will be opened, and already created lectures with React Native CLI quick start, and in my previous lecture I have also setting the development environment with Homebrew for iOS, but in this lecture we will setting the development environment for Android. So we will select here development OS because we are creating this lecture on the Mac OS machine. So we will select here Mac OS. So we are creating this lecture for Android. So we will select here Android. So if we will create the lecture for iOS, so we will select here iOS. Official doc of React Native is recommending the Node and Watchman using Homebrew. So Homebrew actually a package manager like a Node. So first of all we will check that Homebrew is installed in system or not. So I will type command plus spacebar, and here I will type terminal and type here brew version. So basically this is the command for checking that Homebrew is installed in system or not. So the command is showing that Homebrew is already installed in the system. So I will show you that how we can delete the Homebrew from the system and how can we reinstall it. So we just copy this command for installing. So basically this is the command for installing the Homebrew. So we just change it here uninstall and run this command. So basically this command will remove the Homebrew from the system, and here the warning is showing that the script will remove the Homebrew from these files. So we will type here y and enter. So now Homebrew is removing from the system. So we will type here system password. So it is showing that Homebrew uninstalled, but the following possible Homebrew files were not deleted. So you can delete personally, go into the directories. So you can delete these files, go into the user local and type here ls command. So here all these files is showing. Delete all these files from here. So we just type here sudo yeah. So we type here rm with rf. So now we check again with ls command. So now framework is deleted. So now we delete Homebrew. So now the Homebrew is deleted. So now we delete etc file. So we type here etc. Now the etc file is also deleted from the system, and the another file is showing here include bin. So we type here bin, go inside the share file, and so we just delete here lib, and we delete from here where. All these files we need to delete. So And now the all files we have deleted manually. So now go into the home directory and check here again the homebrew version. So now the homebrew is completely deleted. So now again we install the homebrew like this. We copy from here and type here. So I am clearing the terminal here and copy again into the terminal the homebrew installation command and type here enter. And the message is showing that after press enter, so all these new directories will be created. So this script will install again these files and will be created all these directories we have deleted already. So we will type here enter. So like this the homebrew will be installed again into the system. In few seconds homebrew is installed again into the system. So now I again check the brew version. So you can check that homebrew version is showing here that homebrew is again installed into the system. So like this, after uninstalling the homebrew from the system we can reinstall it. So now basically this is the first step because recommending installing node and watchman using homebrew. So the homebrew should be installed into the system for installing node and watchman. So now we will install the node with homebrew. So first of all we will check that node is already installed in system or not. So for this we check here the node version. So basically the node is also not installed in the system. So with the help of this command we will install it. So we will just copy brew install node and type here enter. So it will take some time for installing nodes. Yeah, so now node is also installed into the system. So we will check the node version again. Yeah, so the node version is showing here. Node version 21.1 is installed here. So the next command is that we will install the brew install watchman. So we will install watchman. So here message is showing that if you have already installed node on the system, so make sure the node is 16 or newer. So at the time of recording this video, so here the node should be 16 or newer. So we have installed node 21.1. So we just open here terminal. So increase the size of the terminal and just for installing the GDK. So copy from here and all these commands will be copy and we just paste here and enter. So first command is here installing the Zulu 1 and another command is checking the info of the Zulu 1. So we just wait for it. Type here system password. So now finally the message will be displayed that the Zulu 1 was successfully installed. So the next step that we will set the Java home variable. So for this we type here Java version. So here you can check that Zulu 1 is now installed into the system, and so now we have a command for checking the path of the Java. So we simply type here usr. Yeah, so now with the help of this command you can check the whole path of the Zulu 1 JDK. So we just copy this path and we'll set. So we type here ls al command and check here that so actually zsenv is a source file and we set here the JDK path. So we just copy this, and here we will open this. Type here, just enter. So JSHENV file will be open here. So we just type here export. So the first letter of the export will be a small letter, and we type here export, and here we'll type Java underscore home, and without space equal to, and we'll paste here all these paths we have checked in the terminal. So we copy this path here and we'll paste here. So all the JDK path we will paste here and just save it, and now we will close it. So if we simply type here cat, so cat is actually a command to check the content of JSHENV, and we'll type here we did not type here v. So now you can check your exactly path we have set in the JSHENV, and now we can check our path exactly with here echo and type here dollar, but the path is not showing here with echo commands. So we can just type here source, so this command actually for refreshment the JSHENV, and type here enter, and again check echo Java home. So path will be show. So it means that JDK path is now set. We can check it with into the new terminal and just type here Java home. So if the path is also showing here, so it means that path is properly set. We can close it. So now we will follow all the next steps. So we just type here Android Studio download. This website will be opened here. So we will click on the download Android Studio, and here we click on the download Android Studio. So this window will be opened, and here I have read all the agreement and about term and conditions. So here this step is very essential. We will check here if you are using Mac with Intel chip, so you will select this. If you are using Apple chip, so you will select this. So because I am using Intel chip, so I am selecting this, and in just few seconds the download will be started. So I have already installed the Android Studio also, so I will not again download it because it will take some time. So just click on the save button. So Android Studio will be downloaded in your download folder. So I am cancel this because I have already downloaded Android Studio. So go to the download folder, and here you can check that 1.23 GB the space of the Android Studio. So you just click on this, and here just drag and drop. So we will just drag the Android Studio into the application. So the installation process will be starting here, and in few seconds it will be complete. So now in your application folder you can check Android Studio is installed. So now I am closing this and open the terminal. The next we will create an application. We directly run this command for creating React Native application. After creating the application, I will show the Android Studio and the environment variable steps. So for creating a new project, we will run this command. So we just copy this and on the desktop and run this command here. Yeah, so here message is showing that at the time of creating this lecture, React Native version is 0.72. So the system is asking that we proceed with this version or you want to change anything. So we want to proceed with this version, so I am typing here y yes and type here enter. So the React Native project with version 0.72.6 is creating. So it will take some time. So I am pausing this video and after completing I will resume again. Yeah, so now the project has created. So here instructions for Android is given that if you want to run the Android application, so we just copy this command and we can run the application. And we check here also the given command for Android. If we just copy here, so this is the command for running Android application. So we just copy it and I am pasting here. And if I am trying to run the Android application, so for running Android application, first we will go into the project ls and we'll go inside the project directory. So and here we run the Android command again. So it will not succeed because we did not set the Android path yet. So without setting the Android path, this command will not work. But for the short purpose, we can run this command like this. So if you want to run Android application shortly without setting this instruction, so we just can copy it and we can paste here, just setting the Android path on this terminal here. So we are setting the path on the terminal, so just enter here. So before running the command we should check adb devices. It is showing that list of device attached is not showing here, but it is showing that list of device attached instructions. So now I run the command for running Android application. So now the Android application will be run. So now you can check that Android emulator is open and I did not set yet any Android SDK path. Just I set the path on the terminal and emulator is running here. But this is a shortcut way for running the Android application. Suppose I want to run the Android application again in the new tab. So this is the new tab and here I want to check the adb devices. So this is showing that adb is not found because this command is work only for this terminal. If I want to run this command in the new terminal, so here it's also not work because zsh command not found, because we did not set the path yet, so it will not work for the new terminal. So it will work only if I am pasting this code into the terminal, then it will work, otherwise it will not work. So we will fix it permanently for all the terminal, and we don't want that every time we set the Android SDK path. So for this we follow some instructions. So suppose I close all the other terminals. For the permanent solution of it, we will set the Android SDK path according to given instructions. Complete the Android Studio steps: Android Studio, Android SDK platform, and Android virtual device. So we will install all these dependencies. So we have already installed Android Studio. Now the second is that install the Android SDK. So for installing the Android SDK, so here few step is also showing. Now here Android Studio home screen is showing here. So here we have different options. We can create a new project, we can open a project, and in the more action the different option is showing, and here we can click on the SDK manager. So when we click on the SDK manager, so all the SDK platform, SDK tools and update is showing here. So we can check here the show package details. These are all the SDK platforms, and if you click on this, so the details will be hide, and if you click on this, so details of the packages will be show here. So we need here the package 33. So when we install the Android Studio, so already Android SDK platform 33 is by default is installed here. If it's not installed, so you can install, just click on this and apply and okay, so it will be installed. So but this 33 is already installed, and you can click the details of this package here. So this is the Android 33 and it is installed, and we need for this Android SDK platform 33. So it is the same, so it is installed, so we just need of it. And the other things, we need Intel x86 Atom 64 system image, and if you are using M1 or M2 Apple Silicon chip, so you will add this. So by default here you can check that Intel x86 64 Atom system image is already installed, and we just need two things. For running the Android application, you can add other tools and other SDK according to your requirement. Just for running, we need only two things: Android SDK platform 33, and here the Intel x86 Atom system image. So here also we check that system tools. If I click show package details, so you will check that here 33 is installed here. So now this step is also completed here. So the third step is here, configure Android home environment variable. For this we will click on the terminal and follow all the steps given here. So here is showing that add the following lines to your Z profile or ZSHRC. Here again we can type lsal command, so all the directories and hidden file will be show here. So here we will check .z profile or ZSHRC. So if these exist, then we will use it, and if we are using base, it is depend on the system configuration. If the Z profile is showing, then we will add this line into the Z profile, and if your system is showing bash profile, so we will add these files into the bash profile. So we check here Z profile or ZSHRC. So yeah, so here ZSHRC is showing, but Z profile is, yeah, so here Z profile is also showing here. The bash profile we will check here, and here bash profile is also showing. So you can add any one of them. So suppose I want to add this line into the bash profile, so I just open -e, and here I will type bash underscore profile, and here I will type enter. So the bash profile will be open here, and I just copy this line from here, and I will add this line into here. And after adding this command S, I will save it and just close it. And for checking again, you can open the bash profile again after closing. So here the path of the Android SDK is showing, so we just close it. So now this step is completed. So for checking, we will type here echo Android home. It will show the SDK path. Yeah, so here Android SDK path is showing. So if it is not showing, so you can just type here source base profile for refreshment, and you can type this command. It is just for load the config into your current cell. So we just type it, and then echo Android home, so it will show if it is not showing in your system. Now this third step is also completed, and the another command is showing here echo path. So echo path actually showing all the path of we have already added into the system, and we'll check with this command the Android SDK path will be shown in all paths or not. So we just echo path and enter, so all the path is showing here. So we just check here the Android SDK path, so you can check that this is the Android SDK path. Next, for creating a new project, command is showing. So this command is for just if you have installed CLI globally, so it will for just uninstall it. And the next command, this is the command we have already used for creating a new project, and this command is for creating a new project for a specific versions. So at the time of recording this video we are using the latest version 0.72. So if you want to create project with a specific or any lower version, so you can use this command. And the next thing is that preparing the Android device. So these command is we can use here physical device also. If you have, you just plug the USB with the Android device and you can run this application on your Android device. And if you want to any virtual device, so you can use these instructions for running your application on the virtual device. First of all, you will install the Android Studio and then you create a new AVD. So this is the instructions for creating a new virtual device. So we just click on the virtual device here, and here we can add a new device. So all these instructions for adding a new virtual device, so we can follow these instructions with our Android Studio also. So suppose I am clicking on the more option, and here we can click on the virtual device manager. The by default the one virtual device is showing here. Suppose we want to add here more, so we just click on the create and we can select here. Suppose I am selecting here Pixel 7 Pro. We just click on the next, and here we just click on the next. We can add here a name if you want anything change into it, and here you can select any orientation of the device, landscape, portrait. So I am by default it's selected portrait, so we are just selecting it, and here finish. So now the two devices is showing here. So all these instructions for adding a new virtual device, so like this we can add it. So for checking the virtual device, we just add here ADB devices. So sometime it is not showing the list of devices attached, but actually device is attached. So next is the process for running a React Native application. So this is just command for running the metro, and this is command for running your application. So now I run this command. So I am now running this command here. Yeah, so it is showing that in error message that this emulator is showing something wrong. So I am closing this. It's showing some connection issue for connecting. So if you are facing this type of problem, so we will check the ADB devices again. So I think the problem is related with the devices is not connecting. We type here open dot and we check the path again where we set. So we add the path into the base profile, so we will copy it and again we will type. So for opening the base profile we will add here -e and dot base profile. We are inside the directory, so first we go into the home and we'll type the command again, so it will open the base profile. I think problem is related with the base profile we are using, so we will cut it again. So if you face this type of problem, you can cut the code here, and here we type here lsal command again, and we open here z profile. So the z profile is here, so we will copy it again. We type here open and z profile. So the z profile will be open here. We will copy from here and we'll paste into the z profile and save it. So now we set the path again into the z profile. So now we close it, and here, like the base profile, we now run the source command for z profile for load the config into the current cell. And now again we check the adb devices. So list of devices is not showing yet, so now we check the another terminal, the devices is showing or not. So open the new terminal, and here we type adb devices. If the message is showing list of device attached, so it means that device is attached. So now we run the command again, echo home, and here Android SDK path is showing, so it means that the path is properly set. So now we can run again the echo path command. So you can check the SDK path here also. So SDK path is showing here. So now go again into the project directory, so in the desktop, and run here command npm run android. So you can face this type of issue because I think this is the connecting issue. So no devices is attached actually. So we just click on the Android Studio and both devices is showing here. So suppose you want to run the Pixel XL API 30, so we just run it again here. So it will launch. So before running, if you face this type of connecting issue, so you will launch here, and then again you will check the devices, and here you will check adb devices. So now the device is showing. Now if I check in the another terminal, so now the devices is showing here. Yeah, so now we will close it. So now I run again. So these are some commands for debug the Android application, command plus M. Yeah, so now this is the Visual Studio, and we want to open our project here. So we just drag and drop here our React Native project. So now the React Native project is showing in Visual Studio, and here the app.tsx file, these code changes is showing on the emulator. So this emulator, like the simulator, this emulator is also showing the hot reloading feature like the simulator. So with help of the command double tap R on the keyboard to reload your code. So suppose just I double tap R, so it will reload. And the other command is showing here, command plus M to shake your devices. So suppose I am typing here command plus M, so this will be show like this. So this is the fast refresh feature is already enabled. So if you want to disable it, so you can disable fast refresh, and you can also reload here. And if you want anything change and want to show immediately changes, so the app.tsx file is showing here. So this is the app.tsx file. Suppose I want to change something in the message welcome to React Native step 1. So suppose I want to change here something. Suppose I want to add here 1, and just I am saving this code, and without reload the immediate changes is showing on the emulator. So it is the big advantages of the React Native. We can see the immediate changes on the emulator or simulator. So suppose I want to change the another message, see your changes again. I'm typing here and save this code, so the immediate changes is shown. And the last thing, you should know that when I am checking here ADB devices, so just one device is showing here because I have launched here only a single device. So if you want to launch this device which we have added, suppose I am launching second emulator is also, so the second emulator will be show here. Now if you check here the ADB devices, so here the two devices will be show here. So now you can check that the two emulator is showing here. So like this you can add multiple devices as you want. You can add here, you can create here and add here multiple devices according to your requirement. So I hope this video is very helpful for understanding how we can set the React Native environment for JDK and Android SDK and how we can run the Android application on our emulator. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching.